Hello from Seoul. What's your pick for the best sandwich? I think we can talk about that all day long, but one thing is very clear. Although there are so many great sandwiches around the world, as far as I know, the Vietnamese sandwich, banh mi, is one of the best. Do you think making sandwich is difficult? I think 10 out of 10 will say no, not at all. Then what about banh mi, the iconic Vietnamese sandwich? Well, it could be a little unfamiliar to you, but as always, don't worry about it. With me, it's gonna be so simple and easy. Just follow my lead. First of all, let's start with pickled vegetables, one of the key ingredients of banh mi. For this, you will need only two ingredients, daikon and carrot. That's it. You might think this daikon is hard to get because it looks comically huge and different, but it's just a type of radish and you can easily get this at Asian groceries. If they don't have this, give me a call. I'm gonna go there and teach them a lesson. Cut 200 grams into matchsticks. Since it adds some amazing texture to the sandwich, I recommend cutting it into thick pieces. Next, carrot. Again, peel off the skin and cut the same amount of carrot into matchsticks so they can be about the same size as daikon. Here, if you're not confident with your knife skills, then bring your slicer. Then you can save a lot of time and it's gonna be fancier like the one from restaurants. Now, put them in a mixing bowl and add 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and give them a good massage. At this point, some of you might say, Aaron, isn't it too much for one sandwich? Yes, you're right, it's quite a lot. But if I don't make this much, Claire's gonna eat them all and there'll be nothing for me. It's a quite sad choice, right? Anyways, put this in an airtight container or cover it with a plastic wrap and give some privacy in the fridge for about 1 hour. Meanwhile, let's make chashu. Normally, chashu is made with pork, but you can also try with any type of meat such as chicken or beef. Anything that suits your taste, that's the best. Alright, let's marinate this pork. If you're using a chunk of meat, it needs more time to be cooked. I know that would be more juicy and flavorful, but you know, something complicated or takes a lot of time, that's not our stuff, right? That's why I brought this kind of thinly sliced pork. It will save your time and make it a lot easier. For the marinade, put 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin or any type of cooking wine, a half tablespoon of oyster sauce, and a half tablespoon of fish sauce. I know some of you might say, ew, fish sauce? But trust me, unlike the smell, it doesn't taste fishy at all. It just gives us more umami and depth of flavor. So just stop smelling it. I don't like the smell either. Nobody does. Keep adding 1 tablespoon of minced garlic and 1 tablespoon of corn syrup or honey. And lastly, add a few shakes of black pepper. By any chance, if you have Chinese 5 spice at home, add a 1/4 teaspoon of it. It's gonna be fantastic. Now, let's pour the marinade over the pork and give it a good massage. If you're using a big chunk of meat, please let it marinate in the fridge for at least 2 hours. It's gonna develop a wonderful flavor. But since I'm using thinly sliced meat, it just takes 30 minutes. Of course, the longer, the better. But since I have a hungry bird at home, I can't wait that long. Alright, let's make spicy mayo sauce. Normally, you can use just regular mayonnaise, but let's put a little more effort and make it extra special this time. Put 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, 1 teaspoon of sugar, a half teaspoon of fish sauce, and mix it. Again, don't freak out because of the fish sauce. It's just full of umami. Just try it. You will experience authentic vibes. You will. Lastly, let's prep some fresh veggies for the sandwich. Cucumber, cilantro, and chili pepper. That's it. Actually, I'm showing you the basic guidelines, so if there's anything you want to add or switch around, please do it. No problem at all. First, cucumber. You can cut these any way you like, such as long strips, ovals, or circles. So just follow your heart. Next, cilantro. You can cut this really small or add the whole thing, depending on your preference. It's totally up to you. And lastly, some chilies. If you cut it too big or too thick, you might see yourself screaming in the bathroom, up and down. Sorry about that, it was too dirty. Anyway, we are all set. Let's take out our pork. If you use an outdoor grill, that'll be best because that's gonna give us nice and smoky flavor. But since I don't have a backyard, I need to make a compromise here. But don't worry about it, still gonna be good. But if you don't wanna miss anything and wanna get some beautiful char on it, this kind of torch can be a good option for you. For information, if you're using a frying pan like me, please cook it all the way through until most of the liquid has evaporated. Otherwise, you may get some mushy or soggy sandwich, and that's not gonna be pretty and tasty. Also, if you're using a chunk of meat, make sure to let it rest like 10 minutes and then cut it into bite-sized pieces. Otherwise, not gonna be pretty. I'm not talking about the sandwich, I'm talking about you. Now, let's move on to the bread. I've got this little Vietnamese baguette that contains some rice flour. So compared to regular baguettes, it's much lighter and airy on the inside. So if you want to be legit, I strongly recommend using this. To be honest, it was quite hard for me to get this, but this kind of little effort will make your sandwich more perfect. You will see Claire's happy face in a few minutes. Alright, let's put this into an oven, which I preheated like 180 degrees Celsius or 355 degrees Fahrenheit, and let them sit there for about 5 minutes. Let's take it out and cut it in half, but not all the way through, so you can have a little hinge on the back. And then hollow out the bread for extra space. Then you can call this low cap sandwich or something. Now it's time to assemble. First, spread some spicy mayo on one side. Because of this, our little effort to reduce its calories came to nothing. But this is so good, so please don't give up this mayonnaise. Just enjoy it first and do more squats. Next, we're supposed to spread pate on the other side. But since I want to add some texture to the sandwich, I'm gonna add rillettes this time. But it totally depends on your preference. So just use what you like or anything you have in your fridge. That's the best. According to the traditional recipe, we need to add chalua, Vietnamese sausage, and some head cheese. But they're so difficult to get where I live, so I'm just gonna leave them out. But if you can get them, please put some. I'm pretty sure you can have a more authentic banh mi sandwich. And then here comes the Maggi seasoning, which is the most essential thing of banh mi sandwich. Some people might think I don't want that kind of gigantic thing in my pantry. I know, this is ridiculously big and kind of scary. But this is like a sacred weapon, which is full of umami flavor. So without this, you can't get the taste that you're looking for. And FYI, this was the only option for me. I hope you can find a smaller one. Now add some cucumbers and pork, and then some pickled vegetables. But before you add it, make sure to drain them first. Otherwise, you will end up with some soggy sandwich that nobody wants. This is pretty enough, but if you add some red chilies here, it's gonna be gorgeous. Thai chilies or red jalapeno doesn't really matter. Just use what you have. You wanna make it pretty, but you can't handle spicy stuff? Put some chopped bell peppers here, and pretend you don't know anything. It will totally work. Lastly, finish it off with some cilantro or any type of herbs you like. That's it. How does it look? It looks absolutely delicious, right? Let's see how it tastes. Claire?
우와, 알록달록 너무 예쁘다. 우와, 원래 이렇게 화려했나? Look at the fillings. There are tons of meat and vegetables. Looks gorgeous. 바게트 겉에 엄청 바삭한 거 봐봐. 오, I'm so ready. Cheers. 와. 뭐야, 너무 맛있는데? 일단 와, 바게트의 그 식감이 진짜 장난 아니야. 그냥 먹는 순간 아그작아그작 막 뭔가 바사삭바사삭 막 다 떨어지면서 그 정도로 진짜 겉이 바삭바삭하고 속에는 또 반면에 되게 부드러워. 너무 맛있어. 이거 진짜 무조건 베트남 반미를 써야 되겠네. 안 그러면 좀 질길 수 있잖아. 너무 맛있다. 계속 먹고 싶다. 설명하기 싫고 계속 먹고 싶다. 그리고 여기 들어가 있는 야채들이 너무 상큼해. 오이며 무며 당근이며 그 하나하나 씹을 때마다 그 상큼함이 탁탁탁탁 입에서 터지는 그 느낌이 너무 좋고 기분이 너무 좋고 속에 있는 고기도 숯불향? 그런 느낌이 싹 나. 너무 맛있네. 소스 자체가 그냥 너무 맛있는데? 완전 강추. 너무 맛있네. 결정적으로 나 고수 좋아하나 봐. 되게 맛있어. 나 고수 원래 되게 싫어하는 줄 알았는데 진짜 맛있는데? 하나가 쑥 들어갔는데도 이것들의 조화가 너무 좋아가지고 너무 맛있다. 맛있다 맛있다. 이 빵에 밑에 발라져 있는 이것도 꼭 뭔가 식감은 참치, 통조림 참치에다 마요네즈 조금 발라놓은 거 그런 느낌으로 식감이 잘 어울리네. 여기서 고깃집의 역할이 되게 크네. 되게 맛있다. I didn't have many chances to try banh mi sandwich, but I can say this is the best banh mi sandwich that I've ever had. This is so good. I love it. You guys really should try this. So good. 너무 맛있어. 이렇게 맛있는 샌드위치를 그동안 한 번도 안 만들어주고 샌드위치 먹고 싶다고 하면 그냥 서브웨이 데려갔던 거야? 너무해. 에이 진짜.
Today, I showed you how to make banh mi, one of the best sandwiches around the world. Instead of getting an overpriced sandwich, how about making this easy, unique, and fabulous Vietnamese sandwich? Once you try it, you might blame me for not sharing this recipe earlier. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.